That you really want to do this?
I'm not sure that I want to do this. I'm sure I need to do this. You're my husband. You're my life partner. And it's time I need to be those things to you, in every sense.
Thank you. I really thank you.
My name is Tiwalade Macaulay.
That's right.
No, I mean, it was a struggle at first with change, but by your side is where I need to be.
Sounds good. And I promise I will not take it for granted.
Better not.
I promise.
Shall we take a moment to say a prayer for all the sheeps we thought would happen, but did not happen? And for all those ones we did not see happening, but happened. God, we are thankful. And for the ones that are still going to happen, because our dream for Shaliwa and Mohammed cannot just die like that. Father, we are still grateful. Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Elisha Moyoserelua, and you know that this is a channel about lifestyle, my life, music, movie, reviews, and everything that I find interesting and trending at the same time. And yes, today is a good day to talk about Skinny Girl in Transit. I know that I have not been faithful, but here I am to amend my ways. Gosh! This is about the most amazing, well-told series in Nigeria. I mean, of all time. You know, for every time I had time to review Skinny Girl in Transit, I couldn't stop talking about the fact that this is so real, it's so relatable, it's so... English is already running away because I don't even know the adjective to add to let you know how excited I am that there was ever... I mean, someone sat down and thought about a story of this kind. Someone sat down and brought it to reality. Abimbola Greg, my heart prays for you. Lord, Skinny Girl in Transit is so amazing. Yes, it was a roller coaster for this season. Season 6 was deep. It was really deep. But I cannot hide the fact that this is about the most unpredictable way to watch events turn, and at the same time, watching it happen in such exciting way. I feel like I cannot express it. Okay, first off, I think I must first commend these guys. Let's just start from that. I really, you know, I know I did. I commend them every time I have the opportunity to review a Skinny Girl in Transit episode. The fact that they are not selfish, the fact that they allow themselves to see through the eyes of everyone out there who is probably going through things like that. You know, they are not adding too much salt. There's not too much Maggi. Everything is in sync. They are not trying to overdo things. I mean, it's just commendable. It's really, really commendable. Big ups to everyone that was on this project, that worked on this project. I can go on and on, but let's talk about this series. Let's talk about the show. The last time I reviewed an episode of Skinny Girl in Transit, it was, I think, season 6, episode 4. I am not proud of it. But it's good to return. I haven't watched all the episodes. I've been following it silently, but I've just not had time to review it. But I haven't followed all the episode. I see growth. I see development. I see people who wanted to tell a genuine story. They were not trying to be perfect. And it just worked for me. I'm just going to review the finale and some other episode by, you know, taking the characters one after the other as much as I can. Yeah, let's just quickly do that. Well, first off, let's talk about Mide and Tiwa. I mean, from losing the pregnancy to finding their way into, you know, getting back together, the trauma Tiwa went through from blaming herself to having Mide hold her hand through, although she tried to shut people out a lot of times. And I did talk about that in, I think, season 6, episode 4. That was one of the things I talked about. We understand the fact that it's not easy. It's never easy to go through that kind of thing and come out of it immediately. But at at some point, I really didn't like how she was blaming herself, how she was shutting people out. But it was interesting to know that she took her time to heal, and that's what matters. And the fact that when she was ready, when she felt like this is something she wanted to talk about, she allowed herself to, freely talk about it. And that's one thing that people need to understand. Yes, it's okay to go through troubles, but we shouldn't stay there. We should find the strength to move on. It's never easy, I tell you, but it's just always important that we find the strength to move on regardless of how difficult it is. And that's one lesson I picked up from Tiwa in this particular, in this whole story development, for this particular season. She allowed herself, she took it. Other people wanted it to be faster. I also wanted it to be faster, but I mean, at her own pace, at her own time, she healed, and that was what mattered. I think the particular episode where I knew that, okay, yeah, Tiwa is coming out already from the pain was when she had the strength to talk about it on radio.
An old wife's tale to help make this pregnancy smooth. And then I lost my baby.
And at that point, I'm like, oh, yes, we finally got through to Tiwa. And although it was dangerous, right? Because anything could have happened to the husband during that period. The fact that he was being shut out a lot of times, the fact that he had to take up with all of her nags and all that stuff. It was dangerous. It was a really dangerous move, but thankfully Mide did not give up on her, and I think that's interesting. I think it's also interesting that they find time together to always talk to, from the doctor, and they've always had that moment, even when they are not getting it together by themselves, they found time together to try talk about it with practitioners, and I think that's beautiful about them, and that's one lesson we should all pick out from there. You might not know everything, you might not know how to pull through, but it's okay to want to talk to professionals who will give you the advice that you need. And I think the doctor did a good job making them understand that yes, it might not be easy for her to want to start having sex again, but she will pull through it. So I think I really like that too. Another thing I liked about them, although I think at some point it was looking like, well, she now came back, fully from healing. I was like, Mide was going into his own, his own hole because of how work was for him. He had to make his family proud. He had to uphold the family name, the family business. The pressure was a lot for him, but I also like that at that point, Tiwa showed that she can be there for him, and I really liked the bond that they brought together at that particular time, from taking up something she didn't really want to telling him, I'm here for you. I know you miss your sister. Demi is not here, but I'm here for you, and I'll be here for you. I think I like that too. I like that she didn't let go of him, especially when he also needed her the most. So yeah, I could talk about those two over and over again, but let's go on to Shaliwa. Guys, I think this whole season, we just really need to give it up to Shaliwa. Apart from the personal love I have for Sharon Oja, I've watched her over and over again, and I feel like she's growth personified. I feel like she just does it. Like, Shalewa will go from crying to being happy. Remember the episode where she saw the Mohammed call during Tiwa's birthday? I mean, how she went from being teary to shaking off and going back to her sister. I will never forget that. And she did that consistently. I mean, from being with her friend and telling her friend, I'm going to live my life and all of that, to crying, to shaking it off again. Like, what kind of actress are you? I find her really relatable. I find her really deep. I just connect with Sharon somehow. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I totally love this girl. And I love that she doesn't hide a vulnerability, and that's one thing a lot of us try to do. When we are most vulnerable, we try to hide how we feel. I mean, she didn't argue the fact that she was pained that Mohammed cheated and it was affecting her relationship. From trying to get into the new relationship with Kwame, which I thought was actually cool from the first two. Okay, well, I didn't think it was cool. I didn't think meeting Kwame was cool because I felt, how can you always meet this guy in awkward places? You can remember the first time it was awkward being in his house after drinking so much, to the second time meeting him at the arts, and then, that's...
Yes, because of the lights.
Blood of Jesus! What is this? I felt like, why must it always be awkward? So I was already suspecting that guy, like, this guy is not good. He's not going to bring any good to Shalewa. But we saw it ourselves at the end of the day. From all the I love you to, shouting at her at every point and trying to hold her fist. I mean, I'm like, Shalewa should have seen the sign. But she probably didn't, because she was trying to heal. She was trying to hide from, leaving a particular relationship and trying to move on with her life. I understand. But I'm also grateful that she saw it. That's one part that most people, we don't have to wait to get to that point. I'm happy that our home did not really get bad before she realized that Kwame was toxic. I'm happy that she didn't wait for it to get to the point where she probably go down the highland and she keeps making excuse for him and all of that. I'm so happy. It took a single scenario of what the reality could be for her to shake off and go face Kwame and say, guy, I'm doing this thing again. And guys, can we just give Shalewa a round of applause for that stellar performance in that particular scene with Kwame? In case you missed it, let's check it out.
Done. As in, it's over.
You don't mean that. I won't fit.
Dakpada! I won't kill you there.
For the moment, I was like, of Lagos. Shalewa of Lagos. Although it's sad that she had to see the pain through another person's situation before she, made a U-turn, but whatever it is, she made a U-turn, and that's what is most important for me right now. I was so happy. Like, who you be? Who are you? What is you? I am the... I don't even know how to do the Ndaboski thing, but guys, Shalewa went from 0 to like not even minus 0 to 100 so fast, and I was just really thankful. And this is to everyone who is going through any pain, especially when it comes to violence. Please don't give an excuse for them. Just walk. It's difficult, but please walk away. It's very important for your life, for your safety. Please take a walk. If it's toxic, there's no other excuse. It's toxic. Toxic is toxic. Please don't stop giving excuse for people, especially when they are being toxic. And that's one lesson that everyone needs to take out of this particular episode. And yeah, from Shalewa walking away to that moment with Shalewa Mohammed. Well, every time, I remember one of the episodes when Mohammed was asking Mide, do you think she would forgive me? Do you think this will still go? And do you think I would get her back?
Mide,
Yeah.
do you think she can give me another chance?
In my mind, I was like, guy, don't worry. Our prayers are with you. We are going to get this babe back. And yes, that moment in the office, after she has gone to do the way for Kwame, I'm like, yeah, these guys are coming back. There's nothing you can tell me. These guys must come back. This is the sheep we prayed for. This is the sheep we hoped for. This is the sheep we looked forward to. Shalewa Mohammed, they must come back. We don't care how long we have to wait, but I need to see these guys come back, because trust me, they are good together. Forget all that stuff. And yes, our Farida is married. That moment when Tito sent picture, I'm like, is there something I don't know? But when she now said it's not Muhammad, I'm like, thanks very much for the information. You can go now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more with Shalewa and Mohammed, maybe in the next season. I feel like they can still work. I feel like things can still work out, especially watching what Mide told Mohammed, that obviously his family, the Macaulay family, were not exactly cool with Tiwa initially, but he had to stand his ground, and I hope Mohammed will stand his ground with his own family too. So yeah, I feel like things can still really work out between those two. So let's wait for the next season. And moving away from Shalewa, let's go to Didi. I think I'm really grateful for Didi. I'm grateful for the fact that from her, I've come to understand that everyone has their own happy ending, regardless of the timeline. Everyone will find their happiness one way or the other. It just takes patience, it takes resilience, experience. It takes a bit of listening to people here and there, because I remember when Didi met this guy and how she was giving him all the jabs and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, Didi, would you calm down? But eventually we saw it grow, and from the part she even discovered he has kids, like 2 kids, and how she allowed herself calm down and just soak it in and allow it happen. And it eventually happened, and I think like we saw the cutest proposal ever. Oh, those kids are so cute. I mean, the way they went on, we are doing a scavenging mission challenge, whatever, and then she found the ring, and they're like, will you marry our daddy? Like, God.
Will you marry our daddy?
Please. Gosh. It was so cute. It was so cute. Congratulations today. I don't have much to say about her, but I think I value her values, if you understand what I mean. I like that she was, she just allowed it happen eventually. And I liked her friendship with Tiwa. I think one of the lessons we'll take out from this series is that friendship is one other thing we cannot let go of. We need friends. We need people, even if it's that one friend that would be there for you, that you would be there for each other, you would help each other grow. She's been that friend for Tiwa, and Tiwa has also been that kind of friend for her. So I think I really liked the friendship they had going on. So let's talk about Mama Tiwa. Mother is so fabulous. I liked how for every time she carried the matter of her children on her head, for every time she tried to be that disciplinarian, the usual African mother. She wasn't faking it. She just wanted things to go well for her kids. And how do we forget the fact that she became a superstar at the end of the day? That's so cute. Big ups to AY and Wasi Wonkoko, by the way. I think that scene with Wasi Wonkoko making that very funny. I think the dress is cute. I don't know if it's me. But how would she have made that kind of dress for Mama? And now she told her to wear the dress and start dancing like the masquerade that she is. That was really hilarious. I liked the synergy right there, and I liked how she decided to take her inner YouTuber. It was so cute to watch that happen. And for AY, that very troublesome child that still had a bit of good inside of him, I think his character wasn't bad also. Sister Dupe always does it calm and try to live life one step at a time. Basically, it was a lot, but it was not too much to take in, because it's like the everyday life. It's like the everyday reality. For anyone born in African home, you might probably relate to most of the things that we saw on the Skinny Girl in Transit. The lessons are not far-fetched. They are things that we need to consciously remind ourselves of, and I think they really did it well. What should we expect in the next season? I mean, how can I forget Tiwa Amide, the part they reviewed that she's pregnant again, and then watching her be in labor. I mean, water broke, not being labor, water broke, and that scene was just, watching Dolumide pants and be confused and all of that. It was so interesting. And
Not the water, baby. Just hold my back.
And
Let's go to the
do you need water?
Olumide, we are
But
fine.
we're not ready. What did we carry? We didn't.
I think I really liked that part where she told him, if I knew this is how you were, I wouldn't have married you. Yeah, it was interesting to watch all of that happen. Yes, mixed emotions, but I wouldn't lie, it was great. And I feel like for the next season, we should be expecting more mixed emotion, more complication. I mean, now Tiwa is going to be a mother. What is it going to bring for her and Olumide? Is it going to draw them apart or make them be better together? We're going to also explore Didi's life as a wife-to-be, or maybe we'll even see a marriage. And I'm also hoping that we can now begin to explore the possibility of Mohammed and Shaliwa once again. Now we're going to try to see how Mama is going to deal with fame. I mean, it's going to be I still feel like there's still a lot of stories right there to explore. So I'm not giving up on Skinny Girl in Transit yet. I cannot even give up on Skinny Girl in Transit. I feel like we still have so much to explore. And I don't doubt them. They will bring it hot. So I'm just really crossing my hands and waiting for it whenever it drops. So guys, I feel like that's everything to be talked about right now on Skinny Girl in Transit. Let me know what you're looking forward to in the next season, and the character you probably hope that they're going to explore some more as we wait for season 7, and maybe that probably will be the final season, because I feel like, yeah, they've tried. They've really tried, and by now we should be considering an award for all of those guys on that series. I mean, whether as individuals or whether for the show itself. I mean, when they need to get an award, it's not easy putting that kind of show together, that kind of genuine, that kind of real show together. It's not easy, and I give them applaud for giving us such a beautiful series. I give them serious applaud. Yes, guys, I think that's about it for Skinny Girl in Transit for this season. Remember to share your thought with me and your comment. I really love to hear from you. Till next season again. Signing out. See you guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.